What's going on YouTube? Welcome back to LTH. My name is Abe and I'm the host of this How to Set Up a Homelab series. If this is your first time coming across our channel, realize that you do not need to follow along with this series to set up a Homarr Dashboard. You can just follow this video. It is a standalone video, but this is just a part of our series for those beginners who are looking to get into this. If you are wanting to know if you're interested in this video, this is what we're going to set up, or something very similar to this. But this is essentially the Homarr Dashboard that gives you a high-level overview of your Homelab and your network, like your nodes and servers uptimes, what servers are online, direct access to your virtual machines through links for you to log into. You can add websites and news articles, take notes, and even put stuff on your calendar and or see the weather and time, which is really cool if you are wanting to implement this for your business and you may have employees across the world and you want to know what time it is there, and if you can contact them, it makes it really easy. Also, do not forget that we have a website if you're new here and you do not know, with step-by-step instructions, copyable commands, and screenshots that allow you to go through our videos at a slower pace if you This episode, I'm going to expect you to set up a virtual machine before we get started. So if you have not done that, please pause the video and do so. Here is the virtual machine at which we are going to use. If you would like to set up a container with Ubuntu, these commands will also work with a container in Proxmox flawlessly, no problems. So now that you've unpaused this video and you've set up your virtual machine or your container, I'm going to log into my machine here and just get my IP address with IP-A, and I can see the IP address is 215. So I'm going to select my Windows key, CMD, enter, SSH at your username, at the @ 192.168.50.215. Struggling. Yes to fingerprint, and then type in whatever the password is at which you set. I'm going to select Control L, make this a big screen, and do my Control +, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have it a little bit easier for you to see. And now I'm going to go along with the commands. And remember, all these commands are on our website. So the first thing we're going to have to do is install the GPG keys for Docker and update those certificates using a curl command, and that will add the repository as well. And so I'm going to just do that, or input my password for my sudo user. It is going to download all those Docker packages, and we can just make sure ready package list done. We got no errors. And then we're going to install the latest packages, apt-get install docker ce, the command line, and then the container IO, right? So we're going to click enter on that. And since it's a capital Y, we can click enter again, because that's the default selection when clicking enter, whatever the capital letter is in the brackets. And we're installed. So now we just want to check to make sure that Docker's running properly. So you can do a sudo docker run hello-world. And then it's going to be like, oh, I can't find it. And then it runs a little bit of commands and, encryption stuff or whatever it's doing here. It's got a SHA-256, a hash, right? And it says, hello from Docker. This message shows that your installation appears to be working correctly. So we know our Docker is working correctly. If you do not get a response, go to our website. I will have commands on how to check the status or troubleshoot this, but you can just do a systemctl status docker.service and see if it's running or not. So that is one way, but there will be more details on our website if you need to do so. And then we need to install the Docker compose file for Homarr, and I'm going to just install that with an apt-get. And now we're going to once again verify the compose version of Docker, and we can see we get a version number, so we know compose was installed properly. Now we need to create a compose file for Homarr. So that's going to be the nano command, which is a type of creating files or reading files or editing files, docker-compose.yml. And then we're going to grab this from Homarr's website. Now, if you leave the version 3 on here, there will be an error message. The error message is not going to affect anything if you just want to copy this, but I'm going to remove the error message, click Control X, the letter Y, and then enter. And we won't get any error when we run this with the sudo docker compose upd command, and then it's going to run these. So right in here, like right around here, there would be a line that says, oh, there's an error message ignoring this docker compose.yml file / your user, whatever. That's fine. It'll just ignore it. But if you remove that piece saying version 3, that is deprecated. It's no longer necessary in Docker. It just reads straight from the services portion of that nano file. So once again, up to you to leave it in there or not, but it's not really that deep. And then it has started. So again, on our website, we'll have more details about that error message if you care. But that is it. We've literally already created our dashboard. So I'm just going to go to the IP address 192.this@15.75.75, and we're at the setup window. So start process, you need to create a username. So we will do learn like we do for all of our stuff. Whoops, I need a capital. And so I will type this in. Maybe I didn't get it quite the same. Okay. There we go, geez. And we are logged in. And then from here, you can check your documentation or go to your board. We're just gonna go straight to the board. So in here real quick, there's kind of two menus. There's this edit tile menu, which allows you to remove tiles. It allows you just to go in here and drag tiles around. And then it allows you to add application widgets and categories. And then over here, there's this customize board menu, which gives you some settings, like you can enable a sidebar or a right sidebar, and it kind of gives you a thing. You can also enable pings to see if whatever the service it's connecting or contacting is up or down. So we're going to just enable the left sidebar, enable pings, and then click Save Changes and back to the board. And then over here on the far left, there's this little LE or RO, or depending on your user name, right, that will show up there if you set up as admin or root or learned or whatever. And then you can switch your theme to dark mode, so I would recommend that. User preferences can be found in here as well. And then the other thing is the manage section. So in here is where you can actually create multiple dashboards. So if you want to have a dashboard for one type of thing or one type of user or one type of employee and their scope of work, you could create lots of dashboards in here. You can manage your users in here as well. You can also create invitations for your users with expiration dates. And then we have some tools for the API and Docker, right? So going back out of here, we'll just go to our default dashboard. We can just cover a couple things real quick. If you want to learn how to set up the Proxmox connection to here, that's a little bit longer, so I'm actually going to make another video about that after this. But for instance, we could drag this into here, and then I can click Add Applications, and then your app name. So I'll add our Proxmox node, not the statistics, just the connection to the Proxmox node. So you're going to go over to that URL, grab it, put it in here, like this, and it'll be the same for internal and external because we don't have URLs assigned to our Homelabs. We're just using IP addresses. And then you can look through behavior if you wanted to open in a new tab or not. I would highly recommend leaving that default. You don't need to switch anything in there. In here, you can do app icons, or if you don't have an icon, you can upload an icon through Docker or through the SSH, and then you can assign it to here or find it at a website. You can see this one actually reaches out to a website and then grabs the SVG file. So if you want to go to that website or a different website and see if you can get a link to your logo, you would do it in here. And then this is that integrations tab I'm going to cover in that next video. So I'll just click save, and it'll take a little bit to ping the device before that light turns green. But once I'm done editing it and I click on it, it'll just open it directly to our Proxmox node. So it makes it super easy. There's other ones you can add in here. So if we just do plus, we could add another app, but you could go to widget, and these are the built-in widgets. So and here's where you can add that notes. You can grab more date and time. You could also grab the weather. And then if you wanted to change this, like this says Paris, I would go in here, click edit, and then I would change this to like where I'm actually at, right? And then it'll give you like Denver City, blah, blah, blah. And then you'll just select this, click save, and that will reload. You can also drag your nodes to size them accordingly to what you care about. So that's it for this video. If you want to learn how to connect your Proxmox nodes with stats like shown here, where you can, open your nodes, see what the usage is for CPU, RAM, look at your storage, check how much is being used or not, please watch the following video. My name is Abe, and I'm signing out on this video.